from the Lakeside Newsroom of the Henrico Citizen, your hometown news source since 2001. This is the Henrico News Minute with publisher Tom Lapis.
The community remembers Lucia Bremer and what Henrico schools officials expect you to do if you are traveling during spring break. We'll have details about those stories and more on today's Henrico News Minute for Wednesday, March 31st, 2021. It's brought to you today by Henrico County.
And now for the news.
Members of the Quioccasin Middle School community and Western Henrico community at large came together last night at the school to remember 13-year-old Lucia Bremer, who was shot and killed last Friday in a Far West End neighborhood. Several hundred students, teachers, administrators, and other community members gathered to share their memories of Bremer. The evening concluded with singing of Amazing Grace. We have a number of photos from last night's event on our website, henricocitizen.com, today. Since March 26th, there have been 13 new cases of COVID-19 involving people at Henrico County Public Schools. That's prompted 40 people to enter quarantine. None of those cases involve transmission in school, according to the school system. In total now, that's 88 COVID cases involving people in the schools that have resulted in 759 people entering quarantine. Most have now returned from that period away from school. The new cases reported since March 26th involved 11 different schools and one school administration office. Only 6 required anyone to quarantine. That was 2 cases at Glen Allen High School that led to 14 quarantines, 1 at Freeman High School that led to 8, 1 at Tucker that led to 7, another at Hermitage that also led to 7, and 1 at Ash Elementary that led to 4. Henrico's spring break is next week, and those school system officials are urging anyone who may travel to follow guidance from the Centers for Disease Control and self-quarantine for either 7 or 10 days upon their return. They don't appear to have any specific plans to strictly enforce those guidelines, in part because they won't know who has traveled. The CDC is urging people who do travel to get tested with a viral test 3 to 5 days after they return and to stay home and self-quarantine for 7 days after travel, even if they test negative. It's also urging people to stay home and quarantine for 10 days if they do not get tested upon their return, and also to avoid being around people who are at increased risk for severe illness for 14 days upon returning, whether or not they get tested. But Henrico school spokesman Andy Jenks told the Citizen that the school system is not going to create a specific definition of what constitutes out-of-town travel, though it does expect everyone to follow the CDC guidelines. Said Jenks, quote, "We're appealing to everyone's common sense and good judgment about keeping themselves and everyone around them safe and healthy. We all must remain vigilant and continue to make good choices in order to have the in-person learning, sports seasons, and activities that we all want to have," end quote. And since next week is spring break, the Henrico County Public Schools curbside meal distribution that happens every Wednesday will be pared back a bit. It will still take place on April 7th, however, at 8 school locations countywide. It will run from 11:30 to 1:30 that day at Ridge Elementary, Ward Elementary, Brooklyn, Fairfield, and Short Pump Middles, and Deep Run, Hermitage, and Highland Springs High Schools. The neighborhood bus stop distribution that occurs each Wednesday as well, however, will not take place on April 7th. The changes don't affect any of the curbside or bus stop distribution that will take place today. Henrico schools will continue to offer the free meals every Wednesday to all students through the end of this school year. And a little personal news here for the Henrico Citizen. We're very excited to announce that our managing editor, Patty Kruszewski, has received the Virginia Professional Communicators 2021 Communicator of Achievement Award. It's the highest honor bestowed by the state group to members who have distinguished themselves within and beyond their profession. It's given for exceptional achievement in the communications field and service to the affiliate, NFPW, the national organization VPC is affiliated with, as well as the community. Fellow VPC member Julie Campbell, who nominated Kruszewski for the award, said, quote, "She exemplifies the best ideals and work ethic of our profession while serving others with compassion and grace," end quote. Patty's been with us since we started in 2001. She has covered a wide range of topics and has served as our managing editor during those years. In her career, she's won more than 200 awards for news writing and photography from the VPC, NFPW, and the Virginia Press Association. She also became an activist for safe driving in 2012 after losing her youngest daughter, Lainey, who was struck by a driver who was texting. She focuses her advocacy through her work with Drive Smart Virginia, which named her a traffic safety champion 6 years ago, as well as Families for Safe Streets and Bike Walk RVA, a sportsbackers program that supports infrastructure for cyclists and pedestrians. We're very fortunate to have Patty and so excited for her to have earned this award. Today's Henrico News Minute has been brought to you by Henrico County's COVID-19 Emergency Rental Assistance, providing assistance for those who've experienced economic impact related to the virus, such as job loss or furlough. Applications are available at henrico.us/DSS or by calling 501-5294.